students, welcome to the local grocery store. Now, when we're buying goods at a grocery store, if it's food that's not prepared for us, like milk and other necessities, bread, we're not going to pay sales tax on that. But if we buy something that is prepared, that's heated and we can eat right away, we are going to have to pay sales tax on that. So in this case, I have these sugar cookies and I have milk. Which one do you think I'm going to have to pay sales tax on? Let's go back to the classroom and then we can take a look at that. Oh, hello there, students. Thanks for taking a look at those milk and cookies at the grocery store with me. Now, what we were discussing over there was that some items are subject to sales tax and some are not. Now, typically, the easiest way to think about this is that food that you buy at the grocery store is not subject to sales tax, right? Because we don't want to tax people on the bare necessities they need to live. But food that can be consumed immediately or stuff that's unhealthy like soft drinks or cookies, sorry to break that to you, cookies, those sugar cookies we're looking at are not really that great for you. They're called sugar cookies because they're filled with sugar, right? So they're not that great for you. Candy, other stuff like that, that is subject to sales tax. Right now, how much is sales tax if you did want to buy those sugar cookies? Well, it really depends. It depends on where you live, because in different states and in different countries, sales tax looks a little different. So what we're going to do now is take a look at that milk example, and we're going to take a look at that sugar cookie example, and then see what the sales tax would be for each. So down here, I want to take you on a trip around the world. In Texas, the sales tax rate is 8.25%. In Massachusetts, it's a little bit less than that. You might say to yourself, that's not fair. I live in Texas. In Massachusetts, they pay less. That's not fair. Yes, that's true, but it all ends up being roughly equal in the end, because in Texas, there are no income taxes on how much money you make from your job. So you get to keep more of your money, but then sales tax is higher. In Massachusetts, sales tax is lower, but you pay more, right? You pay a higher tax on your job's income. Now in the UK, we can't really be complaining here in the United States, because in the United Kingdom, which comprises Northern Ireland, Wales, Scotland, and England, right? When we're thinking about the United Kingdom, it's 20%. Wow, that's like a gigantic difference. So when I was living over there, I had to make sure that I was cooking in a lot, because if you cooked food that you bought at the store, it wasn't subject to this sales tax. So back to our example, we're talking about milk. Now the milk that I had was $3.50. Right, so this is for milk. And we go all the way across, it would be $3.50 in Massachusetts. In the United Kingdom, they have a different currency that's relatively worth relatively more than dollars, and their symbol looks like this, and it's called the pound. It kind of looks like an E that is still tired, right? It's like drooping its head. That's called the pound symbol. They call pound sterling, all right? So if you're buying in England, then you might think a gallon of milk costs about 2 pounds, right? So after sales tax, how much would you pay for this milk in each scenario? Right? Well, if you're in Texas, you have an 8.25% sales tax on $3.50 of milk, but milk is known as a staple or a necessity. It's a type of food that a lot of people need to support their bodily functions, right? It has good calcium, right? Milk's a good thing. So your final price is just going to be $3.50, $3.50, and 2 pounds, right? You don't have to pay sales tax on milk. You don't have to pay sales tax in the United Kingdom on milk if you decide that you want to move there one day. Also, fun fact, it's not called sales tax in the United Kingdom. It's called VAT. Value Added Tax. right? And that was confusing for me because in English, vat typically means a gigantic container, like a vat of milk or a vat of cookies, a giant container. So when I saw vat, subject to vat, I was like, well, where's the giant bucket? I don't see a vat anywhere. But then someone told me that it stood for value-added tax. That's just the extra bonus that you get to learn from taking business math with Mr. Rogers. So we've identified that the milk that I had in that grocery store is not subject to sales tax or value-added tax, is what they call sales tax in England. So I'll write that here. This is the sales tax, what we say in America, and sales tax in Massachusetts, still in America. All right, but now we have these cookies. Now those cookies were $4. Excuse me, the dollar sign comes in front, even though we say it second. So $4, the currency symbol comes first. All right, so these cookies, right, are $4. And that would be an equivalent amount of about 3 pounds in England. All right, so what would our final price be for $4 cookies under each scenario? Well, what you need to do at this point is calculate sales tax. How do we do that, all right? It was better when we had milk because we didn't have to do anything, right? But with cookies, we have to do a little bit of multiplication. Well, the easiest way to do this, there are two ways actually, but I'll teach you both of them, is just to multiply your dollars by your percentage. Now when we multiply percentages, we need to convert it into the decimal. We do that by moving the decimal place over 2 places. All right, so this 8.25% is the same as 825 10,000ths or 0.0825. So we can multiply 4 and 0.0825. Right, so we can do that over here too. 4 times 0.0625, because it's a little bit less in Massachusetts because they have state income taxes. And then we can do 3 pence, right? So this is a different currency, so we're going to multiply 3 times, well, 20% would be 0.2, 2/10. All right, so this one we can absolutely do with our mental math skills. 3 times 2 is 6, but we have 1 decimal place. So this is 60. This will blow your mind. It's not cents. In the UK, it's pence, right? 60p or 60 pence is what they would say here. At this point, you add in the original amount. So your total cost of these sugar cookies after your value-added tax would be £3.60. Now over here, the percentages are not quite as simple to do. So let's break out our old calculator here. And you can do 4 times 0.0825. Right, we got 33 cents. Right, so this is a 33-cent sales tax on the cookies in Texas. In Massachusetts, it's 0.0625, or 6.25%, which is a quarter. Okay. So at this point, you add in the original cost of the cookies, because this is what the sales tax is, right here, 33 cents and 25 cents. But you have to add in the original price of the cookies. Add these. So in Texas, the price of the cookies would be $4.33. In Massachusetts, it would be $4.25. So you can see that they are relatively, by a very small amount, cheaper in Massachusetts. So there you have it. That's how we calculate sales tax. I did promise you a little bit of a shortcut here, a little bit easier to do. Instead of doing this in 2 steps, you can do it in 1 by, instead of multiplying by 0.0625, you can save yourself a step by multiplying by 1.0625 or 1.0825. because that automatically puts the 4 back in it. So if you do 4 times 1.0825, you'll get $4.33 immediately. And if you do 4 times 1.0625, you will get $4.25 immediately, and you don't have to add the 4 back in. So it does save you one step. But those are the two ways that you can calculate sales tax. But remember, if you're just drinking milk or cooking at home with pasta, vegetables, meat, shellfish, all of that, you're not going to pay sales tax on that. So it pays to learn how to cook. So best start watching those food shows and learning. Have a great day.